from the worst game of basketball I've ever played in my life. I am ashamed. So much so that I'm having a stink strike right now where I refuse to shower for at least another hour so I can stew in my own filth for my awful shooting performance today. And then to top it all off, I saw this video and it made me even more mad.
At Arby's on in Winder. So I ordered my food and it took them 15 minutes to get my order. I canceled my order because it took so long to get my order.
The horror! A 15-minute wait? No! He's gonna starve! Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Zoinks. So you can see it's a very serious situation. We're lucky this hero was able to muster enough strength to hit the record button on his phone and post it to his TikTok to document the injustice. With a tummy as empty as his, I don't know how he was able to pull off such a Herculean feat. This is another classic example of some entitled asshole clown recording the slightest inconvenience thinking they're in the right. And for some reason it is so common for this to occur in fast food establishments. For some reason, these douchebags feel so emboldened to record themselves belittling, attacking, and insulting fast food employees to post on their social media pages, thinking that somehow people are going to be on their side, like this is some kind of huge dunk and they're like a champion of the people, when that is never the case. It is delusional. And my heart breaks for fast food employees that have to deal with this kind of behavior so frequently. I don't know how many videos I've made talking about shit like this, but it is frustrating as someone just seeing it. I can only imagine what it's like having to actually have this happen to you. Now, is it unusual to wait 15 minutes for your fast food? Yeah. But is it the biggest deal in the world? No. You can handle it like an adult instead of this little whiny baby here. Maybe there was just a mistake that happened where they forgot to bring you your food and all you needed to do was ask. And he even says as much, that when he asked for a refund, they did bring him his food. So it sounds like it was just a mistake. And mistakes happen. There's no reason to throw this kind of tantrum over it. There is a much better way of handling it, and it's not this.
Nobody came and brought me my order, so I wanted a refund. As soon as I tell them I want a refund, they bring the food. I saw two people behind me go past me. And you're telling me I can't get a refund. And what's your name?
Bethany.
Bethany. So I can't get a refund, Bethany.
I can replace your food.
I don't want my food replaced. I just want a refund. I want my money back.
Oh my god, I can actually feel Bethany's headache that she's developing through the screen, just having to listen to it. So, it's clear that something must have went awry because the people behind him got their food and he hadn't. So, is it an inconvenience? Sure, a very small one. But again, why are you trying to name and shame Bethany here for what was likely just a simple mistake that could have been easily handled like an adult? There was absolutely no need to just start filming this. And that's just like a symptom of the modern day and age where anytime anything even remotely uncomfortable or inconveniencing happens, people turn to like recording it because they wield TikTok like it's some kind of weapon. Like, oh, I'll get everyone to dogpile on them, that'll show them, and also it's gonna be good because this will go viral on TikTok, which he says so many fucking times. Like, it blows my mind. Like, I can't even wrap my head around that thought process. Why? Why? They haven't...
Because y'all service was horrible. It took y'all 15 minutes to give me my food. I'm working right now. So I just want a refund. That's all I'm asking for.
Clearly your work must not be that important to you if you're still sitting here arguing about this situation. You must not be in that big of a rush to get back to your job if you have the luxury of just being able to sit here and harass this employee. What, are you late to your shift at the stupid store or something? Like, you clearly aren't, urgently trying to get out of there if you're taking the time to argue and film this whole interaction. Like, it blows my mind. Now, anyway, he keeps saying that he wants a refund. And fair enough, I suppose, but Bethany explains that she doesn't have the ability to do that because they need a general manager there to approve of refunds, so she's doing all she can by offering to just keep replacing the food. Even though he did eventually get the food, she still is offering a replacement like, hey, look, this is the most I can do. It's out of her hands. She doesn't own Arby's. She's not the fucking franchise owner of the establishment. She can't make the rules. She just has to play by them, and you're giving her so much shit for it.
Just want my money back. I just gave you guys my money, so it shouldn't be that hard to give me my money back.
You do your thing, and you do it well. Now, it's time to do it bigger.
We do not have a general manager right now. I cannot do a refund for you.
You have a manager, and are you the manager? Okay, so if you're the manager, you can give me a refund. Now, if y'all want to go famous on TikTok and make your business go down because you don't want to give me a refund, because you don't telling me you can't give me a refund and I don't want the food now.
I don't think there's anything that can make people dislike you faster than saying things like, oh, you're about to go famous on TikTok for this one, or shit like that. That is the biggest low of dirty barnacles. There's nothing more painful to the ears than seeing that phrase uttered by some asshole like this over something so trivial. Also, it's not exactly like the craziest video ever. I don't know why he thought this would go viral, but if it did, I don't know why he thought anyone would rally behind him. Nobody likes this kind of behavior, not even on TikTok. So even though this didn't go viral at all, even the like 12 or 15 comments it has are all shitting on this guy for it. This is not a popular video from what I can tell. The only reason I saw it is because some people sent it to me on Twitter, because I cover shit like this pretty often. He truly believes that because he has a TikTok account with like 1,000 followers, that all of a sudden he has power here and is above these employees at Arby's. It's sickening.
I can just fix it for you.
I don't want my food replaced. I want the money. I want my money back that I just gave y'all. Literally 15 minutes ago that you had me sitting in this line for. You served 2 people behind me, and I'm not leaving this line until I get my refund. And y'all's line will be backed up. What you say? You're gonna be a star.
Oh, he just keeps saying that line. You're gonna be a star. This one's gonna pop off on TikTok. This is going to elevate the TikTok page right into the mainstream, damn it. You guys don't realize how badly you fucked up by accidentally inconveniencing me in a very small way. You'll remember this moment for the rest of your life once I post this to TikTok, letting people know about Arby's taking 15 minutes for my order. Ha! Unbelievable.
Like, this line will be backed up till I get my refund. Y'all already wasting my time. I'm working.
No, you're wasting your time. And you're clearly not working at all. You're making no effort to get back to your work. You just threatened to continue to sit there in this standoff to back up the line. So you just wait here forever till the fucking heat death of the universe. You're obviously not in any kind of rush to get back to work whatsoever. You are wasting your time and everybody else's time and looking like an absolute fool.
I would never come back to this place again. This woman just told me she couldn't give me a refund, wasting my time, and now she's going in there getting my money. But she just told me she couldn't do this.
Still gonna get in trouble. So take your money.
Well, you're definitely gonna get more than in trouble. And do what? Get out the line and do what?
This guy really thought that somehow this video would take down Arby's itself or something. Like Arby's would have to issue a press release like, we are so sorry for the tragedy that unfolded at this specific location where a customer had to wait 15 minutes and film this horrifying video. Oh my god. We haven't been able to sleep since. So we at Arby's are making a pledge to change things for it. Just craziness. And he's still grumpy, even though he just got his refund. He was mad he didn't get a refund, and now he's mad that he did get a refund. And he's saying she's going to get in more than just trouble because now he's got this TikTok that he's posting. So what happened here is she went to the register and just pulled out the amount he paid and gave it back, which goes against that policy. And I looked into it a little bit, and according to some former fast food employees, doing that is a big no-no because now the till is going to be short, which means the GM is actually probably going to get on her for that. She probably will get in trouble when Bethany didn't do anything to deserve this. That she didn't deserve this treatment at all. This guy is just an asshole. She tried so hard to fix the mistake by just offering the replacement of food which he wouldn't accept, and she explained that she can't do refunds because it's part of the rule that the GM has to approve it. But she still did give his money back, breaking the rules to try and appease him and get him out of there. And now it's very possible that she will face some kind of trouble when the GM comes in because of this. It's just so sad to see people act this way. Bethany did not make that rule, but as an employee of the restaurant, she is expected to follow it. And she still broke it to try and help this guy and stop his wrath. And he still posted this video to try and embarrass her or
We know how important sleep is to you. That's why Casper Labs made the new snow mattress.
Today I got to thinking about a classic Dr. Phil weirdo that went on to his show. This was back during the era of Dr. Phil being a bit of a kingmaker for social media superstars. Most notably Danielle Bregoli, who got her start by going on Dr. Phil with the Cash Me Outside stuff. And for a little while we saw a flood of this. It became quite the hype train to go on Dr. Phil, to act as over the top as possible to try and make a career out of it. Most of the time it felt very phony baloney where the individual was just putting on a song and a dance to try and get some kind of social media career out of it. And Dr. Phil was just the helpful lightning rod saying insightful things like, "Hey, come on now, that's not good. Have you ever heard of Farmville?" when he's plugging his mobile game ads. But there was one goofball in particular who, back in 2017, kind of took the internet by storm for a moment. His name was the Sexy Vegan. At the time, I assumed this was just a load of horseradish with another person going on his show to try and squeeze some juice out of his teats, get some followers out of the appearance and the performance, and wasn't genuine. But it was entertaining, and today I started thinking about it again, so I went and rewatched the episode and decided to check in to see what the Sexy Vegan is up to all these years later. Well, it turns out I was a naive fool back then, because the Sexy Vegan is realer than the freckle on my left butt cheek. The guy is actually off his gourd. So I'm going to show you clips from the episode here in a moment if you don't remember who he is. It actually is just a wild appearance. But he got arrested in 2019 for sexually assaulting a pit bull. Apparently, he had recorded an act, basically bestiality, with a pit bull and got in trouble for it, obviously, and then announced his presidency in like 2020, and even today, well, I guess a couple months ago to be exact, is still trying to lobby as a presidential candidate and still doing the exact same shit that he went on Dr. Phil for. Like, actually doing all of it, from what I can tell. So let's go ahead and see the episode to get you all caught up to speed with the Sexy Vegan.
Susan says in August of 2016, Hans legally changed his name to Sexy Vegan.
I didn't even know you could do that. It's a real-life McLovin situation here. I know people have changed their names to really silly, ridiculous things in the past, but I thought there were certain guidelines that you had to play by, and I thought something like this would be prohibited. Like, no, sir, you can't change your name to this. Get out of our office. And then they spit on you on your way out or something. Because I know you can't change your name to a slur or anything like that, right? So I just assume Sexy Vegan would also fall into the category of being like an obscenity that they wouldn't legally allow you to change your name to. So when this first aired, I thought that was a huge red flag that it was all fake. Like, just all bogus. But from what I can tell, it really is his name.
And now he walks the streets wearing nothing but a Speedo, carries a full-length mirror wherever he goes. Susan says her son tattooed Sexy Vegan on his forehead, has been arrested 15 times, and refuses to get a job because he's, quote, too talented and beautiful for a 9-to-5.
That pretty much sums up Sexy Vegan in a nutshell here. So Dr. Phil lays out the lore for you with the cliff notes. He then brings on people closest to Mr. Sexy, and they kind of go through like the effect that it's had on their family and all of that, and how desperately they want it to not be the case. The audience can't help but laugh at him because he has fundamentally turned himself into a clown. He is disruptive in society and tries to get all eyes on him all the time, and people can't help but giggle at the absurdity of him and what he's doing. He actually does travel with a full-body mirror, like he's some kind of character out of an MMO, and the mirror is like his special weapon that he can't leave the house without. He actually does that, apparently. It wasn't just for show on Dr. Phil, which blows my mind.
My name is Sexy Vegan. I got my name legally changed to Sexy Vegan. Hans no longer fits me. When people see the tattoos, they're shocked. I'm a strict vegan. I once was down to 1.3% body fat. The beautiful vegan messiah.
So another thing that jumped out at me when I first watched that was the tattoos looking really cartoonish. It looks like he puts them on his face with marker every morning as opposed to being legitimate tattoos. But again, I was wrong. A victim of my own hubris, thinking I knew tattoos just because I get some. They're real. Those are actual tattoos. I don't know exactly why he'd get just the word vegan tattooed on himself so much, unless he was really trying to take a page out of Suicide Squad Joker's playbook with like ha 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 written all over him. I don't really get it. If you want to have vegan tattooed on your body, why not choose a better font as opposed to fucking Comic Sans or the bubble letters? Here.
When I go out, everyone stares at me because I wear a Speedo-esque outfit and I'm exotic like a Lamborghini SV. I love walking around in my Speedos because putting clothes on is like putting a tarp over a Lamborghini, which makes no sense, and I get for that all the time. When I go into a grocery store, I'm followed around by the security, which is so annoying.
If that's annoying, then just put on some goddamn clothes. It's the simple solution of all time. Just tarp up the Lamborghini during the rainstorm, right? And that rainstorm is called shopping and being in public and having some decency. It's not that difficult. It's making a mountain out of a molehill here. It takes 2 seconds to just put on some clothes.
I'm drop dead gorgeous and a great singer-dancer. I can make it on my talents. Reality show, segueing that into a high-ranking government position, either first American king or president.
I cut out a good chunk of his monologue here. He very much dislikes his mother, who seems extremely sweet based on what I've seen. Like, she pays for all of his legal fees. He leeches off her money because his mother has $11 million as an inheritance, so he does come from money, and he tries to suck as much of that out as he can. He refuses to get a job because he thinks he's far too talented for it, and believes that he will pop off because of his talent, his God-given abilities, and eventually land a reality TV show which he will then use to get a position in the government. And with that whole speech he gave right there, back when I first saw it, I was convinced that it was pretty obvious this guy wasn't being serious. It was all just to promote his YouTube channel and his Instagram. I still think that was the primary objective here, but it seems like he really is convinced of this. It seems he may legitimately be delusional, because he is still doing this today, from what I can tell on his social media platforms, which is wild.
You're an enabler, but you can't help it.
Yeah.
Why are we here then? What do you want me to? You want me to help it? What do you want me to do?
I just had to slide this clip in here from the episode. Fucking Dr. Phil hitting her with the, well, what do you want me to do about it? What am I supposed to do about it? What do you want me to do about it? Like, he looked offended. Like, I almost expected him to, like, jump out of his chair and lunge at her. What do you want me to do about it, huh? Like, what do you mean? Like, why are you confused? Obviously, she wants you to help in some capacity. You've convinced an entire generation of Americans that you are extremely effective at solving family disputes and things that like this that she is taking to you and putting on your plate. Obviously, she wants you to do something to help her. Well, why are you acting this way?
Maybe he'll come out and talk to us. Maybe he won't. I really don't care one way or the other. This train is moving on. If he jumps on board, he does. If he doesn't, we're moving on. We'll be right back.
The way Dr. Phil handles his show is always so fascinating to me. How anyone ever bought into the idea that this guy is somehow the authority on matters like this, or solving problems, really, to be, like, more broad. He treats his show like it's all
This trading platform changed my trading career forever, and here's why. First of all, it lets me trade with their capital, so I don't have to risk my own money when trading anymore.
to be, like, more broad. He treats his show like it's all such a burden to him. Like, it's all just such a nuisance. Everyone that comes on, he treats like a pest from what I've seen. So here he's like, maybe he comes out, maybe he doesn't. I don't care. We're gonna get this show on the road. Maybe he hops aboard, maybe he doesn't. What do you want me to do about it? What am I supposed to do about it? Who gives a fuck? Right in front of this family here. Like, right in front of them. Like, to their face. Like, come on. Like, it's ridiculous. Now, of course, I'm sure the family did receive some kind of compensation for appearing on the show. I don't exactly know how the formula works. Maybe they get paid to just appear. So it probably isn't the biggest deal in the world. Maybe they weren't super upset about it or anything. But it's just so weird to me. Because so many people, when I was growing up, really thought Dr. Phil was basically like a saint. And really insightful and helpful. But every time I've ever watched him, even when I was young, I was just confused on why anyone ever thought that. Like, he doesn't seem like he does anything besides just be bored by the people's stories.
My image is very important to me. I look at my collection of mirrors all the time to study myself and my beauty. When I dance in front of the mirror, I can create a really striking image. Skinny with a big butt, I got junk in my trunk, but I'm keeping it. The mirrors go with me wherever I go because I want to know what I look like.
To be honest, that little jingle that he dropped right there, skinny with a big butt, junk in the trunk, but I'm keeping it, I actually think was ahead of its time. That would probably do really well in today's modern landscape of pop music, like with TikTok blowing shit up. He probably would have done really well in 2024 if he dropped that jam. But here's him explaining why he carries around a mirror so he can constantly be reminded of his beauty.
People say that I'm narcissistic because I carry around a mirror wherever I go, but I don't care because I'm not, because I have empathy. And I'm currently banned from the Beverly Hills Library for bringing the mirror in, but I'm looking to get that resolved.
Well, there you have it. Checkmate. He can't be narcissistic because he has empathy. And he's also been banned from that library. I don't know if it ever got resolved. I couldn't find a follow-up to it, so I guess that's for only Sexy Vegan, the librarian god, to know if that ever got overturned.
I am the beautiful vegan messiah. It's a song. I didn't say I was, and she knows it. I was just like my dad, okay? 10 luxury cars. My dad told me I had the same name as him until I legally changed it. My mom did not bail me out of jail when she knew I was innocent. I'm liberating over 70 billion pigs in cages so small they cannot move for years. Okay?
There's a lot happening right now. Let's just take a breather together and process, let it digest for a moment. He comes out guns blazing. He comes out with some steam here. You can see the security's like, hey, come on, we'll get you some water. And that water's not coming. That water would do nothing to stop this here. This fire is burning, and it's burning bright. So he comes out and he's got a lot of scrambled thoughts here that he's trying to convey, and it's hard to keep track of them. So I believe the beautiful vegan messiah is like his catchphrase or his song, I suppose, like his theme song, perhaps like a WWE entrance or something. Maybe he was expecting pyrotechnics to go off when he walked in. Not entirely sure.
I work. My mom's a sociopathic piece of I have the highest score in hot or not history. I got 9.9 out of 10 after 327 women rated me. Let's see your talent.
I love that line right there. Let's see your talent. It reminds me of that amazing trumpet fight video from like 5 or 6 years ago where the guy's melting down about a trumpet player in public, and then he goes, in 1975, I walked Bob Dylan up on stage. Who the fuck are you? You no talent piece of shit. Oh, God. Oh, that's what I get for invoking the wrath of the trumpet player. Whoa. Okay. Point is, great line. So, I don't know about the whole hot or not pop quiz right there with the trivia. I don't know if that's true or not. Weird thing to be flexing about too as he's moonwalking onto stage. Like, hey, I have the highest score in hot or not history with 300 something women saying I'm good looking, I'm super hot. Sounds entirely made up, but I have no way of fact checking that. I'm just going to assume he pulled it out of his ass. That was some of the junk in the trunk. Just this lie.
Let's see your talent, you ugly piece of
Okay.
Just this lie.
Let's see your talent, you ugly piece of
Okay, stop. Hey, look at me.
Let's
Look
see
at
your
me.
talent.
No,
Huh?
hey. Hey, no, you need to look at me.
I don't have to do
Okay, take him out. Security, get him out of here.
Thank God. Thank God.
No.
An incredible finale. I like when he gets up to Dr. Phil, he hits him with like 3 little pumps right here. He just gets him with like a triple tap. Then it's right back to moonwalking. He's just spamming Fortnite emotes here while just saying that they don't have talent and that they're ugly pieces of shit. And then Dr. Phil finally says, enough is enough. No more fooling around. Get him out of here. So then he leaves. Security gets him. I appreciate the audience here though. Like there's some boos and then there's a couple of claps. I'd love to know what they were clapping for because I wonder if they're clapping like, "Yeah, Dr. Phil, you got him. The security got him out of here. Thanks for that." Or if they're clapping cuz, "Yeah, it was a great performance, sexy vegan." I imagine it's probably the former, but I like to play with the fanfic that it's the latter. Like there was a couple sexy vegan fans in there. They're like, "Yeah, sexy vegan. Yeah."
You are going to come out here and use that kind of language in front of my audience. And audience, I apologize. That is childish
Awesome.
and immature behavior. And
Now I get to leave.
yes, you do.
No.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
That's pretty much where it ends. Now, like I said, when I first saw this, I really thought it was just another one of those moments where someone goes on there, does something really dramatic like this to try and get some attention to their social media presence, because he does plug it a couple of times, really. He mentions it throughout the episode, like in his intro and stuff. But upon further inspection, looking it up fucking 7 years later, he really does just act like this. This is his real, genuine behavior from what I can tell. With all of the charges that he's accrued over his life, as well as how he continues to post on his social media, I'm pretty confident in saying that this was actually just him being him. So yeah, I just wanted to revisit this moment here because it's probably like the weirdest guest Dr. Phil has had on in terms of how everything played out on the episode. So yeah, just wanted to remind everyone of this, and that's really